Hello. Imagine yourself being bored after a long day of school, a hard day of work, or things just don't seem to go positive in your life. You find a way to release that stress in the form of a hobby. There are many people that like to do sports as hobbies. Others choose to exercise or go to the gym, and many others choose a little bit more of a quiet activity, such as reading or crafting. It does not matter what kind of hobby you like, as long as it helps you have fun, become happy, and enjoying the things that you do with passion. One popular pastime in today's generation is video games. There are a lot of people that enjoy video games. Today, video games make an $100 billion global industry, and nearly two-thirds of America homes have household members that play video games regularly, as per History.com. When we look at the longevity and evolution of video games, one cannot question why it's such a popular pastime or hobby. In 1958, William Higginbotham created Tennis for Two, making this the first video game to ever be created. And through time and generations, video games have evolved and grown in acceptance. Big brands such as Microsoft, Sony, Google, Facebook, amongst many others, are part of this market. Technology improvements have made it so that we can immerse ourselves in the virtual world, better known as VR. It is a rising market and a profession in today's age due to the evolution of the internet and technology, and many find it as a career, such as streamers, because popular sites such as YouTube and Twitch help them. These two hire and pay individuals to play video games in front of live audiences, which is amazing. Overall, video games are fun and growing in popularity, but the question always remains the same. Are they good or are they bad? Please allow me to share with you a lot of the pros and cons of video games. Now, I want to start with the cons of video games. And the reason for this is because there's a lot of people and studies out there that have revealed negative effects of video games. But let's look at the problem first. According to an article posted by Kabir Lal, he says, it's important to remember that video games are not inherently evil. Most of the negative effects of video games arise from excessive use and addiction. We can identify this as being a psychological problem in the form of addiction, which is one of those negative effects. Depression is another major psychological problem and can be developed by video games. According to an article posted by the Harvard Medical School through Harvard Health Publishing, suggests that gamers can also experience the following problems. 1. The loss of interest in other activities, loss of relationships, educational or career opportunities, gaming to escape or relieve anxiety, guilt, or other negative mood states, as well as continued gaming despite psychological problems. Now, gaming injuries can also be developed because of the excessive use of muscles and tendons when we don't use them as much. A popular injury could be carpal tunnel syndrome, which is seen among a lot of gamers. One of the most controversial topics, though, is that there are many types of ratings in video games. Some are meant for more mature audiences, while others target a very younger generation and audience. Amongst all the video games in the world, many include excessive violence, profanity, and inappropriate behavior. These games can expose people, especially the younger generation, to the wrong values and morals. Many of these themes can also lead to aggression. According to an article by the Global Child Prodigy Award, a children's brain is still in development, and they won't be able to differentiate the right and the wrong, and may end up emulating what they see and learn through video games. These are some of the major negative effects of video games, amongst many others. Now, you've learned about the negative effects of video games, but there are also a lot of positive benefits from them. Allow me to share those with you. According to a study, an article also posted by the Harvard Medical School through Harvard Health Publishing, our society suffers from an epidemic of loneliness, and gaming can be a vehicle to connect with others through virtual communities. They can help with interaction skills, even proven by improvement with autistic children. Video games have medical applications, such as training people with degenerative diseases to improve their balance, helping adolescents with ADHD improve their thinking skills, or training with surgeons on how to do technically complicated operations. They also offer fun and distractions and entertainment. They offer a healthy brain stimulation. Video games can improve manual dexterity, Finding from a study by the American Psychological Association showed that surgeons that played video games were 27% faster at advanced surgical procedures and made 37% fewer mistakes. That is great. Development of problem-solving skills is also a great benefit for video games. One long-term study published in 2013 showed that children who played strategic-based games showed an improvement in problem-solving skills, and thus tend to get better grades the following school year. They challenge our thinking and push us to improve our problem-solving skills. Overall, video games can offer relaxation, put people in a better mood, and even help with anxiety sometimes. Many individuals even use it as a stress reliever. Physicians have begun to use video games to motivate their patients and improve their health. Now, we find ourselves in a place of boredom. We will always find ourselves in a place of boredom and feel like we want to do something that energizes and helps us release stress. Whether that's a hobby or a pastime, you need to enjoy it to the fullest. If video games is that distraction, just remember the information that I shared with you. Remember that there are pros and cons to almost everything. Just like video games can promote aggression and become addictive, like in many other things, there are many people who use video games positively for social skills, problem-solving skills, and encourage benefits for video games through improving health. The debate whether video games are good or bad will always be there because they continue to grow in popularity, and it will continue to grow a lot. If we moderate our children and are knowledgeable, we can prevent a lot of those negative effects. Understanding something is different than knowing about something. Sometimes we just need to do our research and try to understand what we deem good or bad. I love video games, and I've played them since I was a little kid. It is one of my favorite pastimes, and it helps me release stress when after a day of work or even a long week of school. But I also know that I cannot let it become an obsession or a distraction. However, just like I love video games, I also love sports, reading, exercising, and other activities. Beware if you find yourself in a place where you feel like video games are causing negative effects in your life. Video games can be fun until we let them affect our lives negatively. Thank you.